Hi, good morning, everybody, and welcome to another assembly this morning. A little bit of music for you this morning as we start off. Right. A little bit of movement so we're not quite. Right. Anyone know this music? Ask your parents. Classic song by Diana Ross called Chain Reaction. And that is what I'm going to look a little bit this morning at chain reactions. And first things first. Oh, I'm going to have to move. No, I'll get my scissors. There we go. Now, who knows what day it is on Friday? It is VE Day. It's a very special day, and it's even more special this year because it is 75 years this Friday that we're celebrating the end of World War II. And normally we might have like some nice big street parties and things, but won't be able to do like big street parties, maybe social distancing street parties. But I thought, let's make a few decorations for VE Day that we can easily make at home, which are a bit like on my theme today of chain reactions. And Holly's going to very kindly pass me my iPad. So first of all, you need just a piece of either paper or card. We'll do just A4 size. And what you want to do is fold it in half. So fold paper in half. And then with a pencil and some sort of ruler, just draw a line about 1 centimetre or so from the top. I'm just doing mine in a green pencil. You can do whatever colour you want. And then nice one down the bottom as well. Along there. And then do some vertical lines as well. Also about 1 centimetre apart. And you keep going all the way across. And then you need some scissors. So ask an adult, of course, if you're not confident cutting it out. Keep going like that. Now, if you're good at judging things by the eye, you don't have to draw these lines, but this is really your guide. So what you want to do with your scissors is start to snip one at a time. So I'm going to start with my folded end and snip along your line, but only as far up as that line that you did along there. And then turn it around and do the opposite. So I start here, but I only go as far along as that line. And you keep going. Now I've done this one in white. And often when we're doing things like VE Day celebrations, we often use, for our decorations, the colours of the Union Jack flag. And what are they? You shout it out. They are red, white, and blue. So I've got my white one here. And wouldn't it be nice if we saw lots of decorations springing up around where we live? Because it's been fun, hasn't it, looking for all the rainbows. Maybe we could have now a few red, white, and blue decorations springing up. And this is just a really nice, easy, simple one. All you need is paper and scissors. Don't even need any glue or anything for this one. And it does work just as well with paper, but I've used card here. So there we go. And then just unfold it. It can be a bit awkward. And then take your ends and ta-da! You've got a nice hangy decoration. So there we've got it in white. Now earlier I did one in blue. And then later I'm going to do one in red as well. So I'm going to have some lovely red, white and blue sort of chain, paper chain style garlands to hang up. Perhaps you can hang them down like that if you weight them with something for your windows, or just string them up like streamers. And that'll be a nice celebrations for Friday, brighten up the house, won't it? Now, why am I thinking about chains as well and chain reaction? Well, maybe as part of your schooling at home this week, you've been maybe looking at what VE Day means and how World War II started. I saw a good video on BBC Bitesize about it. And with all wars and things, we can always usually find a starting point, can't we? And something happened, and then something else happened, and then it just keeps going and going. And it is this chain reaction, what we say. It's like a link, isn't it? If you imagine a daisy chain, one situation links to another, and we keep going and going, and that is the chain reaction. But I'm going to tell you a story from the Bible. I'm going to read it to you. And what I want to do is each time in the story, something occurs where you think it could be good if people had just stopped then and things wouldn't maybe have spiraled out of control. So I'll just say, stop, and we'll keep going. So, right, here we go. Oh, I've got to find it. Got to find it first. Here we are. Okay. So this is the story about Joseph. Now, you might have heard about Joseph. He had a bright technicolored coat, didn't he? So Joseph's was the son of Jacob, and he was 17 years old, and he helped his father take care of the sheep and goats, as did his brothers. Joseph would often take bad reports to his fathers about what his brothers were doing. Stop. Now, that wasn't a great way to start, was it? Brothers aren't going to like him if you're just telling tales on them the whole time. Jacob loved Joseph more than all his other sons because he had been born to him when he was old, and he made a long robe especially for him. Stop. That's also perhaps not a good idea to show favoritism and make his other brothers jealous. When his brothers saw that their father loved Joseph more than he loved them, they hated their brother so much that they would not speak to him in a friendly manner. Stop. Wasn't a good way to react, was it? Not talking to your family. Now, Joseph often had dreams in which he saw himself becoming a great man. And Joseph told his brothers about his dreams, and they hated him even more. Stop winding up your brothers and your brothers not reacting well. So one day when Joseph's brothers had gone to take care of their father's sheep, Jacob said to Joseph, I want you to go where your brothers are. I want you to go and see if your brothers are safe and if the flock is all right, and then come back and tell me. So Joseph went after his brothers and found them. And his brothers saw Joseph in the distance, and before he reached them, they plotted against him and made plans to kill him. Stop! That's no good. Don't plot. They talked amongst themselves and encouraged one another. We could say that a wild animal killed him, and then we shall see what becomes of his dreams. Stop! Not only are they plotting big lies as well. Reuben was one of the brothers, and he heard them plotting and tried to save Joseph. Let's not kill him, he said. Just throw him into this well, but don't hurt him. He said this because he planned to save Joseph and send him back to his father. And when Joseph came up to his brothers, they ripped off his long robe that his father had made him. They took him and threw him into the well, which was dry. The brothers then sat down by the campfire and ate their meal. Stop! Don't throw your brother into the well. But Judah, one of the brothers, said to his brothers, look, here are some traders passing by with their camels. What will we gain by killing our brother? Let's sell him to the traders, and then we won't have to hurt him after all. He is our brother, our own flesh and blood. So his brothers agreed, and they pulled Joseph out of the well and sold him for 20 pieces of silver to the traders, who took him as a slave to Egypt. Stop! They still could have rescued him and let him go back home, couldn't they? So when Reuben came back to the well and found that Joseph was not there, he tore his clothes in sorrow. So there we are. Throughout that story, lots of opportunities where this whole thing with Joseph and his brothers just spiraled out of control. And the brothers really lost what we call self-control. And now that is one of the areas where God's Spirit can really help us. It is one of our fruits of the Spirit, self-control. And it's probably one of the hardest ones, I think, that we as people can struggle with, isn't it? Sometimes you just snap. People make your blood boil. But it really is the transformation of God's Spirit that can help you overcome that. And then it won't set off that chain reaction of events, which hopefully won't be as severe as Joseph and his brothers, but can still lead to a lot of pain and sadness that you may not even realize you've caused. So let's try and nip it in the bud. Let's ask God to help us with self-control. And then as we remember back to VE Day, and we remember how great it was that that terrible war finally came to an end. Let's thank God that that came to an end. But remember, we don't want more wars in the future, do we? So let's all work hard to get on with each other and to love each other, just because God loves us. So hope you have fun making your chain reaction paper chain VE Day garlands. I'd love to see some hanging around as I go for a walk. So everybody, that's it for today. Stay safe, and I will see you tomorrow.